Chapter 16, Post Chapter 2. Pebble Gem Village. 9:00 a.m. The entire length of the journey, Mario's team had been worried about just how they would get back down the mountain after they'd made it all the way up. Thankfully, that problem was solved in the form of Frida Icefang, the not-so-abominable snow lady, who jovially volunteered to give them a ride down. Not so thankfully, that ride entailed clutching onto her for dear life as she literally ran down the mountain face, covering the distance back to the village in a matter of minutes. Mario felt lucky he hadn't had a heart attack or gone mute from all that screaming. At the very least, when she climbed back up to the top for a second trip, Clifford had to go through the same thing.
"Hey look, everyone! It's the mustache guy!"
cried the Koopa as soon as the tour group had made it safely back to the village.
"Quick everybody! Let's pelt rocks at him!"
shouted the Mouser.
"What the heck?"
Mario screamed as the entire group started doing just that. Thankfully, Clifford stepped in at the nick of time and started loudly berating them, saying there was no point in attacking him anymore since they had already failed to stop him from reaching the Sun Soul.
"You're lucky I don't charge you all double for this, you louts,"
he growled as they all sheepishly dropped the rocks they hadn't thrown yet. Mario just shook his head.
"So, Clifford, I hope you've learned something from all this,"
he said firmly after the group had bidden their fond farewells to Frida.
"Especially since that abominable snowman turned out to be real after all. If we hadn't been there to stop you from going in the cave, who knows what would have happened to you." "Humph. All I've learned is that some people are ridiculous cheaters and cheapskates,"
the Cleft grumbled, jealously eyeing the Sun Soul that Stubba was holding in his arms.
"You mark my words, Mustache Man, this is not the end of Clifford. One day I shall be the richest Cleft alive. The grand enterprise of Clifford Touring Unlimited shall take over the world. You shall all be bugs beneath the mighty shoes of..."
He continued ranting as he walked away. Morris shook his head after him yet again.
"If I know one thing about that guy, it's that he never learns anything,"
the Monty Mole apologized.
"Or if he does, he won't admit it. I think there may have been a very subtle apology somewhere in that rant."
Mario grinned.
"Well, tell him it's all right. And tell him this tour was a very educational experience."
Mario's team, along with the tour group, decided to spend some time resting at the tavern before they started their journey back. This gave Mario enough time to take care of their one big remaining task, talking to Stubba's parents. After wondering what exactly he was supposed to tell them to convince them that he needed to take their son away on an incredibly dangerous quest, he finally decided that he had no choice but to tell them the entire truth, why they needed Stubba, and nobody else, to come with them, and why it was physically impossible for his parents to come with. He thought it was only by some divine miracle that they finally believed him, although saving them from the Dark Striders had probably helped his credibility.
"So? You really need our son to save the world?"
his mother sighed, looking down at him.
"Oh, Stubba, I always knew you would do big things with your life. I just didn't think they'd be so soon." "Don't worry, Mommy. I'll be with Mario. He's the best. I'm not scared of anything when he's here." "You obviously have a very brave and pure son, if that makes you feel better,"
Hannah offered.
"Now, you listen here,"
Stubba's father said to Mario.
"You would better make sure nothing happens to him, understand? And you would better send us an email every day and tell us how he's doing."
Mario blinked.
"You guys get internet up here?"
Though it took a while, Stubba finally said all the goodbyes he could manage to his parents, and his Nana as well, who still wasn't too happy that Mario had, in her eyes, kidnapped the little Clubba from right under her nose. After that, they began the long hike down the mountain, and before too long they were back in the town where it all began. Saluna Town. 12:00 noon. Stubba looked a little nervous from the size and activity of the town, but at the same time he looked excited to be there.
"I've never been on an adventure before, Mario. This is so cool. But how come we're here?" "Well, we still need to find 4 more Sun Souls and 4 more Guardians. So we're going to go talk to a friend of ours who hopefully can tell us where the next ones are."
On the way over to Rodolfo's house, Mario decided to stop by the badge shop nearby and picked up a few choice badges, Damage Dodge for himself and Damage Dodge P for his partners. After that, they headed straight over to the Dugan's residence, eager to find out where the journey would be taking them next.
I really hope Peach is still okay,
Mario said to Gwynplaine and Hannah.
I can't stop worrying about her, knowing that half of her is being locked up like that.
He didn't have to worry. Almost the very instant they were through the door, Peach had suddenly dashed over, enveloped Stubba in a crushing hug and started gushing on and on about how adorable he was.
Oh, and I missed you too, Mario,
she added sweetly.
Hello, Mario,
Rodolfo said excitedly, running over to him as well.
Oh, is this our new guardian? Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. 2 Sun Souls and 2 Guardians already. This effort of ours has been more successful than I ever imagined. I say, we waste no time getting started on the next one. Couldn't agree more,
Mario said with a nod. He turned to Peach, who was still distracted with Stubba.
Peach.
He cleared his throat.
You didn't happen to find out where the next Sun Soul is, did you? Oh, yes, I did.
She replied proudly, putting Stubba down.
Apparently, it's called the Sun High Soul and it's in some place called Mustard Mines. Really? A Sun Soul called the Sun High Soul?
Mario didn't sound impressed.
Well, I guess it's not as bad as the Crystal Star called the Crystal Star.
Rodolfo looked stunned.
Mustard Mines, you say? Oh dear, I'm afraid that doesn't bode very well for us. What do you mean?
Asked Mario.
Well, you had better come have a look.
He led them over to the coffee table where Luigi and Toadsworth were waiting, took the map from Mario's hands and unfurled it over the table.
There's your next destination,
he announced, pointing at the northwest corner of the map, which happened to be the arid, desert-covered region.
The Mustard Mines are a very famous landmark. They've been around for nearly 100 years, and they've been continuously expanded on ever since then. They're a virtual labyrinth. It's quite possible that you never find the Sun Soul in there. Boy. I'm glad I'm not going this time,
Luigi said nervously.
Getting lost underground doesn't sound like a good time. Oh, please,
Hannah said with a roll of her eyes.
We just scaled the tallest mountain in Chronoside, and we're supposed to get scared of some mines? Come on, Mario's dealt with worse things than that. I bet he goes in there and busts the place open until we find the Sun Soul. Yeah. Mario can't do anything.
Stubba agreed.
Right, Mario. Yeah. What they said. Well, I'm afraid it's not even that simple,
Rodolfo sighed.
In case you couldn't tell, the Mustard Mines are gold mines. You can't just walk in there whenever you feel like it. They're the property of a town known as Golden Spur Ranch. Golden Spur Ranch?
Mario seemed to be mulling the name over in his head.
Somehow, I have a pretty good image of that town in my head already. Well, I should think so.
Rodolfo agreed.
Corrals, saloons. It's cowboy country over there, folks.
Hannah looked excited about that.
Ooh, really? Cowboys are handsome. Is that all you think about?
Gwynplaine said in exasperation.
More to the point,
Rodolfo went on,
I'm quite certain you'll need to go there first and get some sort of official clearance to go to the Mustard Mines. I'm sorry, I can't be more helpful than that. Don't worry about it,
said Mario.
Golden Spur Ranch it is, then. So how do we get there?
Rodolfo opened his mouth to answer, but momentarily he shut it again.
As a matter of fact,
he said sheepishly,
I'm not entirely sure.
Hannah groaned.
Remind me why we keep listening to this fool,
Gwynplaine muttered.
Come on, Rodolfo, you have to have some idea,
Mario insisted.
Isn't there a warp pipe around that will take us there, or anything? I'm sorry, Mario, but this is one thing I'm just not sure about,
the Dugan sighed. Suddenly, though, his eyes widened.
Oh. But there is someone I know of who can surely help you. Who is it? I happen to know of a mysterious old shaman who lives just up the street from here. His name is Merlin.
Mario grinned.
Aha. So this place has a Merlin too, hey? Merlin. Long story. Well, anyway Mario, this Merlin is said to have the ability to see into the future and advise people on the path they should follow. Many people travel here to seek his advice. I'm sure he could divine some way for you to reach Golden Spur Ranch. Perfect. Then that's just what we'll do.
Mario decided.
I'll see you later, everyone. Peach, let go of Stubba. But he's so cuddly.
Peach whined, and it was only with a maximum amount of effort that Mario was able to drag Stubba out the door. It took no time at all for Mario to find Merlin's house. As he and his partners walked inside, they found themselves in a dark, smoky room with stars painted on the walls and colorful veils hanging across the ceiling. The wizard himself was standing in the middle of the room, crouched over a crystal ball. Like every other iteration of Merlin Mario had ever seen, this one was draped in blue robes and a hood that obscured most of his form, and he had an enormous bushy mustache that reached down to the floor. Apart from that, all that was visible of him was a pair of beady yellow eyes.
Welcome, Mario, Gwynplaine, Hanner and Stubba,
he intoned in a faraway voice. Stubba's jaw dropped open when he heard that.
I am Merlin the magician. I predicted your arrival from studying my crystal ball. You have come here in need of advice. Yep, that's about it,
Mario agreed.
We're looking for something, and someone, very important near a place called Golden Spur Ranch, but we have no idea how to get there.
Merlin nodded slowly.
The simple task of locating such a place I can easily accomplish, he decided, for a reasonable sum of 10 coins.
Expecting this, Mario fished around in his pockets and handed the coins to Merlin.
Very good,
the wizard decided.
I will consult the crystal for the answer to your dilemma. Wait there, and observe.
Merlin leaned in close over the crystal, concentrating with all his might. He began muttering arcane magic words under his breath, and suddenly the crystal began to glow. Images of stars and planets began flashing across the wall, and the room began to feel as though it were spinning. Mario and his partners watched in awe.
Shazzy-ibby,
Merlin shouted.
Shazzy-ooby.
The crystal gave one final, blinding flash with a sound like a firecracker going off. When the light died down, the room had returned to normal.
Aha!
cried Merlin.
You needn't fear any longer, Mario, for the crystal has told me that the answer to your problem is fast approaching. Your way to Golden Spur Ranch will soon be here. Do you know how soon?
Merlin squinted at the crystal again.
In about 2 seconds. Hey!
That very instant, the door came flying open and slammed into the wall with a deafening crash. Which was somewhat unfortunate for Gwynplaine, who had been standing directly in front of it.
You son of a!
He screamed from on the floor, but Mario's attention was quickly drawn away from him and toward the bumpty who had just come bursting into the room.
Merlin dude!
He cried joyfully.
Long time no see, dude. What is up, my good man? Oh, for crying out,
Merlin exclaimed.
Ferdinand! Can you not see I have visitors? Whatever you and your boarding buddies need this time, it'll have to wait. Ah, please, Merlin!
Begged another voice, and all of a sudden 4 more bumpties had appeared behind the first one. Mario stared at them. All 5 penguins were dressed up in what appeared to be surfer attire. Their leader, Ferdinand apparently, was wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a red baseball cap, on backward, of course, along with a dark pair of sunglasses. He just then seemed to notice Mario.
Whoa! Sorry, dude.
He said quickly.
Didn't know you were busy chatting it up with the Merle. Mario, allow me to introduce my acquaintance Ferdinand, and his friends,
Merlin sighed.
They're always here paying me a visit. They say I'm the only one in Chronoside who can predict when the next gnarly ride will be, as he puts it. It's true, man.
Piped up a female bumpty, giving Merlin a slap on the back.
Not even the weatherman can predict the waves like this dude can. We owe him, like, a lot. Well, that's terrific,
Mario muttered,
but we're kind of discussing something important with him right now. He was just about to tell us how to get to Golden Spur Ranch.
That seemed to get Ferdinand's attention.
Dude. Golden Spur Ranch. Why the heck do you want to go there, man?
He asked.
I mean, have you ever seen the place? It's all sand, and no surf. Total rip-off, man. The last time I went there, I was like... Whoa, whoa.
Hanner cut him off.
You say you've been there before? Well, sure I have. And let me tell you, it was all. Then tell us how to get there, stupid.
Gwynplaine bellowed at him.
Then we can stop wasting time hanging around this stink hole. I'll appreciate you not making fun of my abode while I'm here, thank you,
Merlin said sternly.
Mario. The crystal has always had a mysterious way of revealing the future. If Ferdinand thinks he can show you the way to your destination, perhaps you were meant to follow him.
Mario shrugged.
Sure, I guess. But Ferdinand. You're positive you know how to get there? Sure I am, dude. Why wouldn't I be? You can totally trust me, can't you tell?
Mario turned skeptically back to his partners. All of them raised an eyebrow, including Stubba, which looked particularly adorable.
Alright,
he finally sighed.
It's not like we have any other options. That's the spirit, dude.
Ferdinand cheered, sounding far too excited. He grabbed Mario by the arm and yanked him out the door, with his partners and the other bumpy boarders following close behind. As Mario found himself being pulled across town by the overly eager Ferdinand, he quickly found out just how excitable the bumpy surfer was. He practically babbled out his entire life story to the plumber, but particularly how he and his friends, whose names were Brody, Kane, Nico, and Sheila, tended to frequent a far-off beach resort where the waves were famous.
You should come visit sometime, man.
Piped up Nico.
The tubular surfage over there is most satisfactory. Ferdinand's even got a killer plan in the works for us. We're gonna open up a surf shop there one day.
Sheila chimed in. Ferdinand wholeheartedly agreed.
It's gonna be the gnarliest, dude.
He said proudly.
We'll sell all kinds of boards and gear, man. Too bad that dream isn't quite a reality yet, though. Maybe because you're a dumb clown who fools around all the time instead of doing anything useful,
Gwynplaine offered.
Hey, now. Don't talk bad about Ferdy, little dude.
Brody admonished.
He's our leader, man. We'd never be the world-famous bumpty boarders without him. BUMPTY boarders forever.
All five of them shouted in unison, and they then broke out into a series of high-fives and hip bumps amongst each other. Mario stared at them incredulously.
I wonder how hot it gets over at that beach resort,
he said to himself. Hannah looked at him.
How come? Because I think they all have heat stroke. Here we are, dudes and dudette.
Ferdinand happily announced. Mario looked up and realized they had been led over to a dark, shady-looking area of town, certainly different from the picturesque streets and mosaics he was used to seeing around here. He looked around suspiciously.
This is how we get to Golden Spur Ranch. How come you know about this place?
Asked Stubba.
Well, most littlest of dudes, we found out about it from Merlin a while back,
the bumpy leader replied.
We told him we were looking for a place with lots of sand. Most unfortunately, there wasn't any ocean to go with it. You get where I'm coming from, dudes. Yeah, how awful for you,
Gwynplaine said with a roll of his eyes.
Okay, my amigos. Check this out.
Ferdinand announced, blithely oblivious to Gwynplaine's remark. Everyone stepped back as he started flapping his arms, and much to Mario's surprise, managed to rise several feet above the ground. He landed on a ledge far above their heads, something no one in Mario's group would have been able to reach, and Mario suddenly noticed a block up there he hadn't seen before. Ferdinand jumped on the block, and as he did, a papery backdrop fell away from in front of the group. Behind it was a warp pipe.
Sweet,
droned the other bumpy boarders. Gwynplaine smacked the one standing nearest to him.
You are now cleared to enter Golden Spur Ranch, dudes.
Ferdinand said cheerfully. He jumped off the ledge and joined the others.
Just don't be too bummed over the total lack of surfage. Remember, I warned you. Yeah, we'll remember that,
Mario assured him.
Good thing we didn't bring our boards along with us for nothing. Hey, are you guys gonna come with us?
Stubba asked eagerly.
'Cause we're saving the world. Maybe you guys could help. Don't give them any ideas.
Gwynplaine hissed at the clever. Ferdinand just chuckled.
Aw, that's real sweet of you dudes, but saving the world isn't really our MO, if you know what I mean. We just like kicking back and enjoying the surf, man.
Sheila agreed.
Well, thanks anyway,
Mario said graciously, though he felt a little relieved. These guys didn't seem quite mature enough to be part of a world-saving endeavor.
Well, we're heading back to the beach now. The ocean, she calls to us, man.
Ferdinand gave Mario a very hearty slap on the back, knocking the plumber over.
Good luck on your world-saving thing, most noblest of dudes. And remember, the bumpy borders got your back 24/7, man. You just call us when you need us. Bye, guys.
Stubba called as the surfers took off.
Thanks, Ferdy.
Hannah said with a giggle.
Fight the man, dudes.
Ferdinand yelled back over his shoulder. The bumpy boarders continued waving back and shouting goodbyes at Mario's group until they had vanished into the crowd.
What a load of nutcases,
Gwynplaine said distastefully.
Let's get out of here before they change their minds and come back. Now Gwynplaine, even if they were a little out there, they helped us,
Mario reminded him.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we needed them again sometime.
Hannah was jumping urgently up and down in front of the warp pipe.
Come on, guys, let's go. I want to see some cowboys. And buy a harmonica and watch a rodeo and get in a gunfight. Right. Okay guys, let's get to it,
said Mario. He jumped into the warp pipe, and his three partners quickly followed behind as they were transported away. Their next adventure was about to begin. End of chapter.